Yes, good morning, Telmo.
Hello.
Now, you have your award as one of our 9 groundbreaking winemakers for the sheer joy we've had from drinking your wines.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'd just like to ask you a few questions about your philosophy, how you got into making wine, your philosophy of making wine, and what is your project, any projects you have for the future.
Well, my philosophy, I think, since I always say that I was born as a wine producer when I started in Ribera, my family estate, maybe when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. I think that the experience of Ribera was very, very, very interesting and very important. My parents, they bought this amazing property full of energy, and so I think they did one of the most amazing projects of Spain in the 60s, a real viticultural project. And then myself, I was born I went to study to Bordeaux, and then my challenge was I moved from Bordeaux to the Rhone Valley to work with people working very hard in their places, like people like Valdeorras, and then I moved to my last step was in Hermitage, that I think people that were working so hard, to be as good as their places. Always I said that to be in the slopes of Hermitage, to see families that for generations have been working so hard. And it's why when I came back to Spain, my philosophy, there is no philosophy. My philosophy is that, I decided to work in the northwest of Spain, even if I do a few other wines in places like Alicante or Malaga.
Yes.
And I believe Spain is a country that we were not watching the places, we were not watching the terroir, we were not watching the landscapes. And Spain is a country that we don't know much. I think it's a very complex country. I think, I love to say now that Spain has got 70% of the biodiversity of Europe. That means that we are a very complex country. And unfortunately, in England, people think that Spain is just sherry and industrial Rioja.
Yes.
Industrial Rioja.
Yeah, I think that has changed over the last few years.
It's changing, but it's true that we have to demonstrate that Spain, there are beautiful places, that they will produce amazing wines. And, the last 20 years I've been fighting for that, and I've been rediscovering, working, loving, and understanding places. And I think that today I'm absolutely proud that we own beautiful small vineyards in amazing places, even like Rioja. Rioja, we want to show that Rioja, there are vineyards. They're not just big
factories.
Houses with thousands of casks, and
Yes.
try to say that tradition is American oak and modern is French oak. I think this is absolutely absurd. So at the end, my philosophy is very simple. We are not good winemakers. We really have this sense of place, and today you can see that a lot of all our wines are produced in very beautiful areas and in very beautiful vineyards. And when you have a beautiful vineyard, it's very easy to produce a beautiful wine. And at the end, we haven't got a style, we never reivindicate our skills of winemaking. We reivindicate what we have been doing the last 20 years, have been to find amazing places. And this is what we want to show to the nice consumer, that Spain is more than just a name, a brand. There are beautiful, beautiful vineyards to be discovered. I think this is.
Yeah, there's certainly that, and I know people like my friend Victor La Serna keeps promoting Spanish wines, and I'm sure you're doing the same, and you're actually demonstrating that proof that Spanish wines can be absolutely fantastic.
I think there's a lot to it, absolutely. I think Spain is a beautiful country. We are the old country, we are the old world, we are the historic world, and I think that we have to do the exercise to escape from the big motorways and to go to the real Spain. I think that is not everything. There has been a lot. It's been already we know, but I think there is a lot to discover. And I think when you see this, and when you see a new generation of small growers that they are showing us what's going on in many different areas, I think Spain is the next thing to discover. So I think it's we got the grapes, we got the places, we got the landscapes, we got the historic terroirs, and I think that this is the next step, to go down to the human-sized producers, people that they are working 2, 3, 4 hectares, and I think it's absolutely exciting. all my education has been very French. I think that to France we have to really to thank that all what did help us, to be in touch with the real world of the real quality, the real vineyard, real terroirs. And I think that I think now, Spain, if we work seriously, is going to be an amazing, amazing country to discover beautiful taste that we don't know. And I think it's absolutely exciting.
Great. Okay, Telmo, thank you very much. Let's go and taste some of your wines.
Thank you very much.
I'll put it on the blog.
Thank you.
Well, there's another fascinating interview with a wonderful winemaker. You can see from his philosophy that he is the champion of the small artisanal winemaker as opposed to the plethora of factory wines that you see on the high street. And I did go and taste his wines afterwards, and they were magnificent. From the wines that he makes in Rioja to the northwest of Spain and also to Malaga, there is a personality stamp on them. And they don't cost that much more than the factory wines you see on the high street. Do make every effort to seek out his wines from him and from people like him, and you will really enjoy the experience.